I hope my voice is audible to all the participants. A very warm welcome for today's session. Please confirm me on chat if my voice is audible to everyone properly. So in today's session, what we will be having, we'll have quick discussions on uh, data science and machine learning, which we have been doing from quite a couple of days. Now, one more thing which we will be doing in today, we will be working towards how you will be evaluated first for data science part. And after this, we will be having a quick discussion on machine learning, which we have been continuing in the previous session. So today, initially, you all will be having the tests first, and after the evaluation test, what we will be doing, we will be continuing with the concepts of machine learning. So guys, let's go for it. I'm sharing the link of the test initially so that all the participants can get evaluated quickly. And once you guys are done with the evaluation process, followed by that, what we will be doing, we will have our continued discussion on machine learning. Okay. So for this, just give me a time I configure the system. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so within your one-to-one account, we have added an evaluation test, and I'm sharing a link with all the participants for the evaluations. This evaluation test will be for 15 minutes, and after this evaluation test is over, we will quickly start our discussion on machine learning. So this will be an evaluation test which you all will be attempting. All the participants of RGPV University and Sagar Institute of Research and Technology will be attempting this evaluation test. So guys, this is the evaluation test. Kindly open everyone and share the link with all of you. Depending on this evaluation test, you will experience your certificates will be allotted on the basis of the responses which you will give. So there are a couple of questions. Initially, when you start with a test, you have to specify your email ID, your name, your mobile number. This should be your correct email ID and mobile number. Followed by, you all have to attempt these questions. There are approximately, I guess, 15 questions are there. And these questions are on the basis of the topics which we have covered in the last 2 to 3 days. So you all have to cover these answers. Passing criteria for this evaluation test is 70%. So you all have to score at least 70% on this test. Now I have started the test. In 15 minutes, this test will be, we are going to stop accepting the responses. So within 15 minutes, you have to attempt the test. And all the students, those who will be attempting this test, will be identified as the students who have been attending this conference and attending this seminar for 8 days, as well as on the basis of that attendance, you will be provided a certificate from RGPV, and on the basis of your scoring, if you have passed the test with above 70% marks, you will get the certificates credited into your account. So minimum scoring marks, minimum scoring percentage is 70%. So I've got one response here, and the answer is 10. The marks is 10, so you won't be allotted a certificate on this behalf. So I would really recommend you to update your answers again and kindly attempt the test again. So all the participants, those who have not been attending these sessions, here it is to evaluate your answers. And if you have been learning, if you have missed the session, have you been learning on one-to-one? Because I was informed a couple of participants have been learning after the session. So now what you all have to do, just have a quick check on your scores. If you all have studied this well, then you all will be awarded the certificates. This will be a 15-minute test. At 2:30, I'm going to stop accepting the responses. And from 2:30 onwards, I will start the session, okay, where we will be working towards our machine learning concept in continuation. There will be a second test which will be conducted on Monday, okay, and as well as 100% participation is required for that test also. We might conduct the test tomorrow and in day after tomorrow's session also. It might be possible, just to ensure that all the students are attending and they are understanding the concepts well. And depending on the marks you score on Hackweather, if you have score above 70% at least, then you will be awarded a certificate from Hackweather. Okay. And for RGPB University, your faculty members will be coordinating for the certifications. So but I believe attendance is compulsory there, and attendance will be allotted to you, to the students, those who will be attempting this examination by 2:30, before 2:30. If you submit your examination before 2:30, I hope your attendance will be accounted. So if you have any questions, you can go for it. The questions are objective. When you have, this is a single choice question, this is a multi choice question. Multiple choice questions may have more than one option correct, so you have to read the question carefully. You have to understand the options, you have to mark the correct options. If there is one correct option, mark one. If there are more than one correct options, mark multiple. And once you're done with that, quickly submit the evaluation test. It is a very simple evaluation test given, and here I am sharing the responses on your behalf. And all the students, I've got 4 responses and the median is 10. So median is 10 means out of so many questions, only 1 or 2 questions are correct. So just check back what responses you are trying to put in. So here is the dashboard. Kindly complete your quiz, and once your quiz is done, I'm going to release your marks, and after releasing your scores and the marks, we will continue with our session. Okay, I've got 5 responses. One guy has got 50. That's great. Maybe I think he would have passed this. Okay, so here we are getting the scores XYZ. That will naturally be ignored if you are not entering with your appropriate email ID. There is no benefit of that. It will be ignored. Okay, if you are registered one-to-one with the appropriate event, only then the certificates will be allotted and the scores will be processed. So try to write your appropriate names and your correct email IDs, and depending on that, you're going to get the appropriate scores. And your scores will be shortly sent. Okay, guys. So by the time before 2:30, you have to attend this examination. All the participants kindly submit it as possible. And once it is done, then we will continue with our session. Good afternoon, everyone. Those who have been wishing me good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, so by the time, let me just set up evaluation tests which are happening. Okay, I believe you all are able to attempt the exams. Once you guys are done with attempting the exams, let me know so that we can proceed further. Okay, guys. So once you submit this exam, quickly you are going to get the score, I believe, and you need to have at least 70% marks in order to pass this. And I will be releasing the scores and your certificates once this evaluation test is done. The certificates will be available in your one-to-one account. Okay, so up till now, I've got 30 responses. Okay, so I hear got 34 responses. As of now, we have approximately 30 concurrent viewers here. And initially it was 50, so I will be expecting approximately 35 to 40 at least responses, and I'll release this. And at 2:30, after 6 minutes, I'm going to stop accepting the responses. सर नंबर कब पता चलेगा? अभी पता चलेगा? Okay, guys. So I believe it is 26. All of you are done with attempting the exam, I believe. In 3 minutes, I'm going to stop this. Okay, so I have got approximately 64 responses by now, 65 responses in fact, 66, only 3 minutes left. Okay, great. So last 2 minutes, once we're done, just confirm me if it is done. And all the students, those who are done with the exam, just do one thing. You all can quickly go to your data IKU. You can log into your data IKU. Those who are already done with attempting the exam, and will last 2 minutes, I've got approximately 84 responses submitted, 86 in fact. I'm quite amazed. When the concurrent viewers are less, when will score release? So scores will be released quickly. Within a couple of minutes, I'm going to release the scores. Oh, nice. 92 responses, but the scores are pretty less. On an average of, you guys are scoring an average of 20 out of 80. That is pretty less. Okay, so last 1 minute, and I will be releasing the scores quickly. Done. Okay, so I've got 104 responses. Anybody left? Last 1 minute. If anybody is left, kindly submit the exams. I will stop accepting the responses. Just last 1 minute. Kindly submit the response. Kindly submit the response, and I will stop accepting the responses. Okay. I believe everybody is done. Just last 1 minute. So last counter, the last 1 minute. As this minute completes, in approximately 40 seconds, I will stop accepting the responses. If you are not done yet, kindly submit it. If not done yet, kindly submit it. You have 30 seconds left. Okay, stop. You can stop and you can submit the exams. Last 20 seconds left. Just submit the responses. Okay, so I'm stopping accepting the responses. Kindly submit now. Okay, so that's all. Now I believe the responses have been accepted. I have got approximately 121 responses submitted, and I am releasing your scores now. So the average passing criteria for this examination was 70%, which you all have to pass. It was a very basic exam. Kindly share your comments about the simple examination which you all have gone through. So I've got approximately 121 results. A couple of more results will be published soon. I'm releasing the marks. You will receive the scores on your email. Okay, and the certificates will also be allotted to you. And I would like to congratulate Rupali for scoring 60 out of 80. Followed by we have Vasu Kataria, who scored 60 out of 80. Diksha Varshne, 60 out of 80. Muskan Pradhan, 60 out of 80. Soumendra Srivastav, 50 out of 8, 55 out of 80. Then we have Trishita, 55 out of 80. We have Siddharth Dubey, 55 out of 80. Swapnil Singh, 50 out of 80. Niyati, 50 out of 80. Gupta, 50 out of 80. Okay, so guys, here are the scores from the students, those who have scored pretty good marks. And here I'm just releasing your certificates. And you will receive a certificate for data science and machine learning test for the event RGPV. Those students who are from machine learning summer training, I believe already the certificates, if you have attempted the test, you would have received. This certificate will be from RGPV University. And I am releasing the scores. So over your email, you guys are going to get the connection. So you need to wait for a minute. I just need to change my network configuration and I'll release the scores in a minute. So I will be just disconnecting from the meeting for a moment and I'll quickly connect back. Okay, so you have to bear with me and we will start the session. So I'm just disconnecting for a moment. Okay, please confirm me if my screen is visible. And I am releasing the scores now. Okay, so guys, here I am releasing. So the certificates will be allotted to the participants who have scored at least 50 marks. So Swapnil, the certificate has been allotted into your account, as well as those students who have scored less, they can also update their scores. Rupali, certificate has been allotted into your account. You can quickly check back your certificates within your one-to-one account. Bhavna Maharana, certificate has been allotted. Then we have Mithul, certificate has been allotted. Followed by we have Kuldeep. The certificate has been allotted to Kuldeep as well. Along with, over the email, you guys are going to receive your marks as well as the competitive marks of your friends, those who have been leading the board today. You will receive all that information on email. And the students, those who have not got certificate, so accordingly, the information will be sent to your college. And if you have not been allotted a certificate, so that means you may not have been attending the sessions. So kindly manage it with your faculties. Okay, how the certificates have to be processed at your end. From my end, I will forward the list of all the students whose certificate has been allotted. And Abhinay APG 1700 certificate has been allotted. So I am seeing the students from ssn.edu are performing very well. So anybody can help me with the full form of this college? ssn.edu.in. Which college is it? As well as the others have scored pretty less marks. Rahul saw the certificate has been allotted, followed by okay. So then we have Priyanshu Chauhan, certificate has been allotted. Niyati, if you are from Bhopal, RGPV University, that's fine. If you're from machine learning training, summer training program, then you have to attempt the data science test, which is available in your data science course. Okay. So this examination is specifically for the students of RGPV University, so as to identify their attendance, have they been attending appropriately. Then we have got 55 out of 80 from Trishita, and there are a couple of more people. Surbhi Gupta, certificate has been allotted, 50 out of 80. Okay, guys, so like that, the scores and the certificate information has been shared, and within your email, you guys will receive the information about the score which you have achieved and the competitive scores of approximately top 10 people who has attempted the test and the marks they have scored, so that you will get an idea approximately how the students have been attempting. Followed by we have processed approximately 121 scores which have been accepted. Okay, so that's great. All the students, congratulations, those who have got these certificates. And again, I would like to congratulate the top 10 people, those who have scored well. So we can see here, I have got Rupali, Basu Kataria, Diksha Varshne, Muskan Pradhan. Congratulations for scoring the passing marks. And in the next attempt, I believe you guys can do pretty well. Then I have Soumendra Srivastav, Trishita, Siddharth Dubey, Swapnil Singh, Niyati, and Surbhi Gupta for being into the top 10 scorers. Okay, guys, so this is the quick evaluation. I'll forward the information to your faculty members. I'm eligible for RGPV certificate. I got my certificate and pass. Great. Okay, so SSN is Shri Shiv Subramanya Nadar College of Engineering, Chennai. Okay, so how did you guys got to RGPV's program? I believe students from other universities are passing the RGPV test. And where are the RGPV students? Uh, can you, all the students those who are actually watching from RGPV University, could you please raise your hands in the chat itself on YouTube? Just let us know who are from RGPV who have passed the test. Okay, so faculty members, you can actually quickly manage and check with the sheet. I'm going to share the sheet with you so that you can quickly evaluate the number of students, those who have attempted the test, and you can organize the attendance and the certificate process accordingly. I hope my voice is audible to you, Priyanka Parihar, madam. I can only see one faculty on my room at the moment. So if my voice is audible to you, uh, I hope you have seen the evaluation process and accordingly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. So I'll share the drive with you with the participant score and those who have submitted up to 230. And accordingly, you can assign the attendance and the certification process.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now, guys, I'm just continuing with the session, which we have where we have stopped yesterday. So what you all have to do now, let's go to login. We are going to log into our Dataiku platform, as well as we have to access Collaboratory. That is collab.research.google.com, where we have been analyzing the house data set. Today, our objective is to perform machine learning and interpret and evaluate the results. So both ways we have to do it. We have to do it programmatically, as well as we have to implement it. We have to implement it with Dataiku also. So I'm going to open my house price project, which I have started, DS house price project. Once this is done, you all can quickly go to the flow. Under the flow, as you all remember, quickly, we have actually prepared the data set yesterday. And after preparation of this data set, what next we have done? We have actually calculated the correlation analysis. And I would like to quickly show you what all has been done till now. So with respect to our Python code, we have read the data using pandas. After reading the data, we calculated the correlation and we identified that the independent variables which are not numeric in nature, they cannot be calculated in the correlation. And calculation of correlation is important because it only helps us identify the relationship between the response variable and the independent variables available in the data set. Okay, so in order to do this, we have started pre-processing the data in Python. We convert the binary categorical text variables into numbers using label binarizer. We have converted n categorical text information into numbers by using label encoder. We have also discussed about fill NA and drop NA concept, where you can remove the null numbers out of the data. Then you have calculated the correlations, and you can see now you are actually able to calculate the correlation of all the columns which are available. Okay. Once you guys are done with that, then we have actually accessed the top 3 rows, the data. After having this top 3 rows from the data, we have actually calculated the minimum price and the maximum price. We actually shown the ranges, the minimum value of the lot size, the maximum value of the lot size. And this range we have shown just to perform transformation as well. So transformation was required because, as you can see in the graph, the variables are of different range, and due to this different range, it was very difficult to compare. So what we did, we actually transformed all the values to a common scale for the analysis using the min-max scaling method. So we have actually experienced about the min-max scaling method, that we have the price, we can calculate the current price of an observation. We can check the minimum price out of that complete data. We can check the maximum price out of that complete data, and then using these values, we can normalize the data. Once the data has been normalized, we actually calculated the independent variables, and we have plotted the independent variables again. We have normalized the independent variables. For normalization, we have checked the correlation of the normalized values, and you have seen that the behavior of the data does not change even if you change, even if you pre-process it and normalize it. So after normalization, the range of the values of the independent variables changes, but still the behavior or the actual behavior of the data does not change. And that has been ensured by calculating the correlation on the normalized data as well, and the all values were same. Now, once we were done with that, we have actually plotted a graph. This was a graph using Seaborn. We have plotted. It was a heat map, and this heat map was actually representing the positive influence and the negative influence, and this influence can be absorbed very easily. So that's why we observe the correlations using the correlation matrix. And why this is helpful, because in this you can quickly see that the top influencers would be light in color, and you can quickly check back the light color from here. And once you can see the light color, let's say we have 0.54, then we have 0.52, then we have 0.45. So these can be considered as the top positive influencers, those who are actually influencing the value of price with respect to lot size, bathrooms, air conditioning, garage places, and more. Okay, so now we are done with the transformation of data. After this transformation of the data, we actually plotted the transformation for correlation values for the normalized values as well, just to show you how that can be done. Then we have actually performed normalization and standardization using the existing libraries of sklearn pre-processing, so that you will get to know that how you can manually implement the mathematical formula, as well as how you can use the library in order to process it. Once this is done, next we have standardized the values, and we have got the output of the standardization of the values. So till here, we have done the successful executions. So now what I will do, let us just quickly do one thing, run all the cells. Okay, we are going to run all. Once all the cells have been run, then we are going to start processing from here now. Okay, so now till here you can see that all the rows have been, we have ran all the rows and we have got all these values ready. And finally, now we are here at this stage where we are going to continue after standardization and normalization. So now if I quickly show you with respect to the document, what we will be implementing. So here, under your RGPV machine learning course, we have this book, a document file which I've shared on day one, Python machine learning document. Under this document, I have already shared you the knowledge discovery process. And over this knowledge discovery process, now today's objective is data mining, interpretation, evaluation, and working towards the knowledge. This is what we want to do. Okay, so when we perform data mining, we have different number of algorithms and we apply which of these algorithms and we test which algorithm works best with respect to the which algorithm works best with respect to the current data available. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. Now, how we have to do that, let's have a look. So we'll quickly move towards the data mining process from Dataiku. Yesterday, I have already told you that you can select the data set from here. Once the data set has been selected, you have to click on lab. Once we click on lab, we have to start with preparation of data and build the new models. To do that, let us click on new, prepare data and build models. Once we go here, we have to click on analyze. Okay, so you are going to define the name of your analysis. And once you have defined that, you can quickly click on create. Once you click on create, you are going to get the script for modification of the data. But as you all know, we have already prepared the data as per our requirements. All the values in this data is in numbers. So that means it is processing ready. We can actually perform analysis. Before that, what you can do is you have an option known as chart, which you can plot. Okay, this is a very important option. Now within this, what actually happens? With Dataiku, you can plot these many plots. Okay, आप लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, डेटा IKU के अंदर आप ये सारे प्लॉट्स बना सकते हैं. ठीक है, कौन कौन से प्लॉट्स हैं हमारे पास कुछ बेसिक प्लॉट्स हैं, जैसे आपके पास द वे यू हैव हिस्टोग्राम, यू हैव हॉरिजॉन्टल बार, यू हैव स्टैक प्लॉट्स, you have horizontal bars with 100% intensity, you have stacked 100%, then you have the lines and curves plots. Okay, we have the stacked area, we have the mixed plots, we have the stacked area 100%, then we have the pie plots, we have the donuts, then again you have the tables available, you have the scatter plot available. Okay, you have binary, bubbles, rectangle, hexagon, all these you can make. You can actually create the scatter maps with world maps also. You can create the geometrical maps, grid maps. All these options are available with this. And plotting the graph is also very easy. And if you want to understand why do we need to draw the plots, just to have the visual understanding of the data. Okay, I believe this is clear to everyone. Now what we are going to do? Now let's say we have performed the correlation. Okay, so one thing I would like to show you here, as you all can see, I have told you that under our correlation analysis, once we have performed the correlation analysis on data, here if you can observe that our value price, when I compare it with lot size, okay, so it is 0.54% positively influencing the price. So this means if I write the statement here, it specifies price is 0.54, okay, consider percent, let's say price is 0.54% positively influenced influenced by lot size. So this means, what do we mean by positive influence? This means as soon, or let's say there are 54% cases in the data set where price increases on the increase of lot size. Okay, so this is a saying which we can actually identify from this correlation. But if I have to visually analyze it, if I have to visually represent it, then what I can write? Okay, that is what we need to identify. So let's have a quick look that how we can actually see that what is that relationship with price and the lot size. Okay, to quickly check back, what we'll do, we can quickly come here to the chart section under your Dataiku, and making the plots is very easy in Dataiku. Just you have to select the y variable and the x variable. So y variable is your dependent variable, x variables are your independent variables. Okay, so in our case study, price is our dependent variable because we will be predicting price of the house depending on the information available. Okay, so now what we are going to do, let's say I have put the price here. You can quickly drag and drop. If it is saying it shows the average value, what you can do is you can actually check the max value, compare the normalized value, and display it on the left axis. So I've dropped the price because it was a dependent variable. Dependent variables will always be represented over the y-axis. Now, I would like to have it compared with lot size. So if I push lot size here with a 10 binary stages, okay, so it says a bar plot has been made. Okay, so here this bar plot represents some information, and what information is it representing? It says a house with an average of 2000 square yard in lot size will be costing approximately 80,000 rupees price. So now with graph, it becomes very easy for us to understand the data, what exactly it is happening. So it was difficult to observe the 546 observations, but if you have graph, you can quickly visualize the information coming out of the data. This part is also known as what happened in data. Okay, what happened in data. This part is known as what happened in data, and we also call it as statistics or plotting the simple graphs. Okay, this is not machine learning. This is just identification of the facts. Okay, now machine learning would be something where your program will actually be learning that why is it that the price of the price of a house of 2000 square yard size is of $80,000. Okay, so this is something which we can actually analyze with machine learning concepts, and finally we can predict in future that somehow, let's say if there is a house which is approximately 1950 square yards, so what should be the approximate price? So we will be able to get a nearby price, nearby $80,000. Okay, so that's what we can use in machine learning with respect to the current data available. Now here quickly, you all can quickly observe that the maximum price of the house is of a home with a lot size ranging in this 6,000 to 8,000 square yards. Okay, and you can see there is a house which is of greater size here, let's say more than 1,000 square yard, but still it has a price $100,000 only. Why this could be possible? It could be possible that this house may not be in the preferred area. Okay, it might be possible it has a bigger lot size, but it could be possible that it does not have the good air conditioning fittings and other important features, like it does not have more bathrooms and bedrooms. Okay, so it could be possible, and it is also possible that it could be in a village area or a town area, so that may be possible that the price of that house is less. It could also be possible that, let's say, in case the preferred area is also okay, it has the garage and everything, but the owner of that house was in a hurry to sell the house because, let's say, he is moving to US from Bhopal. He is moving to US. So he was in a very hurry that he has to sell the house as soon as possible because he's leaving out India. So now in that case, he has sold the house at any random price. So all these things can happen in the data, and the objective of data analysis and machine learning is to learn all these facts and then make a model which can actually help us predict the future. Prediction of the future means if in future, if anything like this happens, that somebody has to sell his house and he is looking that what should be the correct price of my house so that I can sell it in that price and I can book my profit and then I can move out. So in that case, what actually can be done? Analysis can be done, an application can predict for his behalf, and once he gets to know the appropriate price or the value of the product which he is selling, or like the house which he is selling, then he will be able to take an appropriate decision and he will be able to make most out of that situation. Like he will be able to maximize the profit while selling his house. Okay, as well as there could be many reasons. So all these things have to be analyzed in the data science and machine learning. So now this is something which you have actually drawn. Now this is the actual data which is available. Okay, and that's what we call as fact. Now what we have to do, अब हमें ऐसा करना है कि अब हम इसको प्लॉट को चेंज करते हैं. So I've clicked on the plot here. Out of the histogram, I would actually like to make a line plot now. Okay, so you can change the plots by simply selecting it. Now let's see, once I have selected, you can see that we are getting a plot somewhat like this. So it started with something like 80,000. As soon as we are moving in this, you can see that we have got the lot size of above $120,000. Then as soon as the lot size is increasing, we got another house 140,000. Still the lot size was increasing. We got the maximum house with 180,000 plus. Okay. Then as soon as we progress further in the lot size of the house, now you can see that there is a downfall of the property. Okay, so all these reasons why there was an upfall, why there is a downfall, what would be the profit of the downfall, and what will be the profit of the okay, so accordingly we have to quickly check, and we have to evaluate the appropriate price with respect to the lot size. Okay, so now what we have to do, let's say in case if your lot size is winning, what we can do is we can actually change it to the raw values. Okay, none, and replace it with the raw values. Okay, with the raw values you can get a graph somewhat like this with respect to the scatter plots plotted at each and every individual location. Okay, and similar scatter plot we are also going to plot. Okay, so let's say you can draw the lines in such a way, as well as you can have your appropriate scatter plots for whatever price you have. Okay, so we got the X as lot size, we have got the Y as price, and we got a scatter plot somewhat like this. So in Dataiku, it is very easy to draw the plots and see the number of observations. Now you can see that with this, what I can identify, let's say we start from here. So when the lot size is increasing, one block is this of the data, and another block is this of the data. So what it generally shows me, it actually shows me that the data is actually increasing in a linear fashion. Okay, it is increasing in this fashion, and this is generally known as a positive influence. Okay, in scatter plot or in line plot, the line actually displays us that the output is linear. So with respect to the price, we can actually say that from this line of statement that when the lot size increases, there is a probability that the price might increase of the house. Okay, so let's say I'm going to again make a line plot. I'm going to push my price into Y. Okay, we have got the values of winning. Let's say winning we can actually reduce number of winnings. Let's say winnings is like smaller groups where we can where what you can do, the number of binnings are less, that will be like more smooth. Okay, so let's say what exactly it is done. Binning is something like distributing your observations into smaller groups. Okay, so suppose we have got some observations like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can bin it by dividing it into 3 bins, let's say. So if I say bins should be 3, then naturally 10 will be divided by 3, and the top 3 observations will be considered as 1, and an average of them will be taken, and the point will be plotted on that graph. Okay, so this is how we can actually perform bin. And we have got a graph between lot size and price, which shows that this relationship between price and the lot size is linear. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Now this we are going to plot as well. Okay, it is very easy to make a plot. Now how we can make a plot of a graph somewhat like this. So this is the actual situation which is currently happening in the data. And when you start analyzing the data in Dataiku, you can easily analyze it with respect to whatever information is available. Similarly, if you want to compare that with the bedrooms itself at the same time, you can drop it and you can get uh, another line as well. And again, I'm going to take a bin. Okay, you can take the number of bins with respect to what could be the specific binning price. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are the number of bedrooms available. So for each bedroom line, we have got individual number of lines representing here. Okay, so you can see that with respect to price, how many houses are from 1 to 2, the how many bedrooms for 1 to 2 were there for a specific lot size. So the price has been decreasing in that particular segment. When it comes to 2 to 3, this is the line plot. There it was increasing. It increased up to 12,000 lot size, but beyond that, it actually fall down. Then you have 3 to 4, which is also linear, 4 to 5, which is also linear, 5 to 6, which is also somewhat linear up to this point. Okay, and there might be no observation with respect to 12,000, hence the graph came down. So using the graphs, using the charts, you can actually plot important information from the data available. And this is something known as what happened in data. Now let us just quickly come to the code and see how we can implement it our own self. Okay, so come to the last part, and now we are going to implement the graphs using Dataiku. Okay, so just reach out to this and we'll code. Guys, now what you all have to do, let's have a look. So we are going to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT here. Okay, so we have got this. We have imported matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. We are going to use this library, and using this library, what we will be able to do, we will be able to make graphs. So the graphs which you are actually observing in the Dataiku, like histograms, bars, lines, plots, scatter plot, all these plots which you can actually use to observe the data can actually be done in Python as well. Okay, so let's say I delete this, you have compared that lot size. Similarly, if you want to see the price with respect to stories, you can see that with the, let's say we are going to use the raw values. Okay, and with the raw values, you can actually observe with the raw values with respect to the number of stories, the price is actually increasing. That is what we have observed. Okay, so now you can see when the number of stories increasing, in this case, the price is actually increasing with respect to the data information. Okay, so this is also a very important information which we have observed. So what generally we do, you can actually plot all the lines, or else you can drop individual lines and compare it accordingly. So lot size was positive. Similarly, we checked for bedrooms. Okay, so bedrooms again, use the raw values. That will actually help you understand the relationship between the price and your second variable accordingly. Okay, so always what we generally do whenever we start this analysis and we observe this, at the x axis we always keep the independent variables, and on the y axis we always keep the dependent variable. Okay, and dependent variable is the one which will be predicted, and we actually see, is the price variable dependent on bedrooms? Okay, so if I ask this question, so we can actually observe that yes, from one bedroom to approximately four bedrooms the price were increasing, but after that the data shows that as soon as the more number of bedrooms have been added onto onto the lot size, then the price of that house was decreasing. So that was a fact which has been identified. Okay, so how we can ensure that we should write a machine learning model which can actually help us predict this? Okay, this is what something we have to do, because all this data is complex, because bedroom has a different behavior, bathrooms has a different behavior, stories, driveway, and all other values have different kind of behavior. So how can we collectively observe all of these, and how we can make an algorithm, or how we can test an algorithm which can actually help us predict the prices given all these input values? Okay, so for in this case what we can do is we can make a product. Let's say we can make a product like housing.com, where we can upload the images of a home, and depending on that images and certain number of information which we have provided, accordingly they will give us a respective price of the house. So all these examples are actually happening, and the house project which we are doing has a relevance application which you can actually see at housing.com. Okay, so this is the website housing.com, where you can actually buy, rent, and identify the properties here, and they actually handpick the properties, so depending on the price of the house. Okay, so there are various information provided by them, as well as what people are doing, they upload the information of their houses in their specific areas. A survey has been connected, and depending on that, these kinds of analysis are being done, that the prices per square foot is increasing in this area and it is decreasing, which you can build after data science and analysis. Okay, you can make a website, so this can be considered as an end product of what have you built. Okay, I hope you guys have understand. So one such product for house prediction, I have already told you that we have created that, and we have actually deployed it in our one-to-one account, so you all can make a project. All the reference files for the project is also available in that from on Trello, so you can download those web codes and you can design it accordingly. So all that thing you can do. Okay, so you can have similar websites which you can observe here. Now let's just quickly get back and see how we are going to make use of all this information and how we are going to design for our own. But before I create my image, okay, I would like to show some other important information. Let's say you have the display legend information here. So if you want to show this legend, this right side information, this is known as the legend information. Okay, let me just annotate that for you. I'll just keep it red here. So you can see this is the legend. Now what you can do is you can change the position of the legend. You can keep it in the chart. So once you do that, it will actually be considered within the chart, and that will be helpful while we export this image for analysis purpose, or if we have to show it to our stakeholder in a presentation, then we can download this image from here and we can show it to our stakeholders just to show them what exactly is happening in the data. Okay, and with what happening in the data, you can actually identify the best algorithm, and you can make an automated machine learning model which can actually help you predict the future. Okay, predict the future outcomes. Now similarly, you can arrange the legends at top left. You can also keep it at bottom right, wherever you want you can keep it. Okay, so top right could be one of the safest position here. In order to make it, top left is also the safest position here in this kind of graph. Now there is one more property like stroke width. So if you have a line somewhat like this, where the lines and the scatter dots are available, you can actually increase the size of the line also. Okay? So let's say if we have selected 3, you can see that now the size of this graph eventually grows a little bigger, a little wider. Okay, so that will be actually helpful for you to observe the data, what exactly is happening, and gain the critical insights out of the data. Okay, all these things can be done. Now, so once we are done with that, there is one more option. This chart can be downloaded also. So you can simply click on download, download as an image, as well as you can download it as an Excel document. If you have to make a real-time graph on a website, let's say, you just don't want to use an image, but you want an updated graph. So for that, you can download an Excel document, and with a JavaScript script add-on, you can actually create a live graph on your website. Okay, so all these are the web designing part, which you can actually learn on our website under the full stack web development course. Okay, that is also free of cost available on our website. Now let's say I'm going to download it as an image. Once we have downloaded it as an image, you can see that we have got the average price by bedrooms, and we have got a graph like this. Okay, so you can use these analysis and graphs, and you can actually use it in your analysis purposes, as well as in case if there are any faculties, those who are watching the session. So generally what happens is, if you are planning to perform your PhD, and if you are proceeding towards the research direction, then what you can do is you can make use of these tools like Dataiku, and you can implement machine learning, and you can write research papers under the machine learning segmentation by validating different types of data which is available, and you can make those graphs, use those graphs in the research paper, optimize your parameters, and all that thing you can do. So Dataiku is also helpful in performing the research analysis for different types of case studies. So the way we are doing it for housing, you can do it for housing as well as you can do it for telecom data and any other use case you can take. Okay. So I believe this is clear with all the participants that this is how we can actually easily export the graphs. We can design our own. Okay. Now, how to do that in Python. Okay. Before I proceed to the model, I would like to show it that this is the actual value. Again, I'll just show it with the lot size because we will be comparing it with lot size once we are going to get the real values. Once we are going to get the machine learning model, so we will have a quick comparison of this. Okay, and let's say I'll just keep it a little bin kind of, so that it will be easy for me to observe the data. Okay, so we have binned the data, and I've got the response somewhat like this. Moreover, if you want to change the color of this chart, you can do that. You can select, let's say, if you select Trithanopia, so automatically this dark pink color will be switched to this particular line. So you can change the colors of the graph according to your choice. Okay, you can also set the animation also. Okay, so you can have the animation for the specific charts, you can create the sub charts and all that stuff that can be done. Okay, now, so once we are done with that, let us just quickly see how we can make it here. Okay, so now using the PLT, what we can do is we can make use of different functions. So let's say initially if you want to make a scatter plot, so there is a function plt.scatter in which you can provide your values of x-axis, you can provide the values of y-axis, then you can provide various values of marker, color map, normalized values. Okay, all these things can be done. So let's say I would like to make a scatter plot, then you can select the colors of the dots also using the option C. So let's see. So let's say I would like to take the value of data, and from the data I would like to display the price. I would like to, in this graph we have lot size and the price. Okay, so I would like to make a scatter plot for, let's say, lot size on x-axis and price on the y-axis. Okay, this is the actual information, and let's say color is equal to, let's say, green, or let's say we are going to create the red color. So I've made a scatter plot Okay, color is equal to red. Okay, so now you can see that we have actually got a scatter plot quickly created. On x-axis we have got the lot size, and on y-axis we have got the price. Let us just quickly put some labels. So you can put a label on x-axis by calling xLabel function, and you can call it as lot size. Okay, let's say in square meters. You can define it so that it will be easy to understand the output. You can also create the Y label. Let's say I will say price, okay, and this will be in USD, US dollars, okay. Similarly, so we got the lot size, we got the price. Now if we run that, we will get the X label and the Y label for the graph also. So for square meters, I would like to put an end bracket here. So with the features of X label and Y label, you can see that you have got an image for your current data. And this is the similar data which has been plotted initially. Okay, so if I change this to the scatter plot, okay, and the scatter plot between lot size and the price, so you can see that you have got a scatter plot somewhat like this: 2000, 4000, 6000, 8000, and so on. And similarly, we have got a similar kind of graph from 2000 to 16,000 in the same manner. Okay, so this actually shows the actual observations in the data, what exactly is happening in the data. And with what exactly happening in the data, we can actually say this, we can actually confirm this, that when the lot size increases, there is a high probability that the price will increase. And lot size, which means the area of the house, is actually an independent variable which is used for prediction of the price, and we cannot ignore it from the analysis. Okay, so this is how we actually check that if we have got data, and in data we have multiple columns, we just verify that what we have to calculate, and if we want to predict a column from the data set, we check what other columns are available in that data which are actually influencing this property. So if we get to know the right influencers, we will be able to accurately calculate the price. Okay. Now, so similarly, in case if you have to make a line plot, so there are so many options available with PLT. Okay, let's say with PLT you have a direct option like known as plot. Okay, so under this plot there are so many other options also. You can always call plt.plot, and within plot you can always give x and y, and then there are additional options like you can define the line width, you can define the marker size, you can define the color, you can define the marker of the lines also. Okay, so all these things can also be done. And with PLT, there are multiple types of plot available, which means you can make the line plots, you can make the pie plots, scatter plots, and there are so many. And here you will be having a list of the plots which you can actually plot using PLT. Okay, so here are some of the markers, here are some of the colors, and I would like to actually show you plt.scatter. Okay, scatter I have already shown you. So here I think we have a variable known as type of the variable, which you can actually use to define okay, with which you can actually define the data. So let's say similarly, I would like to make another data plot I have done here. Let's say in the next line of code, we are going to make a line plot. Okay. So what you can do is you can make use of plt.plot. You can access data. Let's say you can quickly call lot size on x-axis. Okay. Then you can again access the data. You can access the values of price. So you can quickly give the name of the column, and you can actually plot the graphs with respect to whatever values are available. So here you can see that this value is not binned. So observing this type of graph would not be a good idea. So generally when we do observe a lot of observations, it's always a good idea to use a scatter plot when the density is available at a common location. Otherwise, the line plot will be arranged like this. And another way to do that is perform binning here. Okay, so you can perform binning so as to arrange that in a sequential order. So generally, what we can do, we can quickly sort the data out depending on the lot size or anything like that, and the price values, so as to quickly observe how the observations are happening. Okay, so accordingly, you can sort the values, and you can quickly arrange the values into a specific group. And once you have got the values into the group, you will be able to plot it accordingly. Okay, so that also is pretty easy. Let's say if you actually access data, and let's say if you can organize according to the lot size. Okay, so let's say if I quickly print the values of lot size. So you've got the lot size somewhat like this: 5850, 4000, 30,060, 6650, and so on. Now what you can do is you can quickly check back in case if there is a sort function by default available with data frame. You can actually sort it and quickly see the result. In case if the series object does not have a sort value, then we do have a sort function generally. Okay, so there is a sorted function which you can use, which can return a new list containing all items from the iterable in the ascending order. And if in case if you want to convert it into descending, you can actually call reverse equal to true. So you can pass your series or whatever information you have. You can sort it and you can arrange the graph accordingly. Let's say we have list lot size. Sorry. Okay. So I just checked to observe the lot size, and now you can see in the ascending order, I've got my list sorted. Okay. So when I'm trying to observe this, let's say if I try to pass a list of that here. So I'll say, sorry, I will be sorting my list data here. So let's just use sorted, type the sorted list of lot size, make it commented, run it. So accordingly, now you can see you have got a better graph. So you have got all your observations observed similarly, and depending on that, now we have got a linear graph which shows how the price is how the price is improving with respect to the lot size. Okay, so now this is how we can actually compare. So in case if you are making a line plot and it becomes haphazard, so you can quickly sort it, arrange it, and later you can also bin it also. So with binning, what generally can be done, you can actually group the responses. Let's say in case if you have many observations here, let's say if I print this data, what generally is meant by binning, I will tell you. Binning is a very important concept when you plot the graphs. So suppose you have an observation 1650 to 2000. So what we can do is we can convert we can convert all these observations, let's say from 1650 to 2000, into one specific value, and let's just call it as 2000. Okay, so all these values are going to be grouped, and for this value, a group of 2000 will be represented so as to have a graph. Then again, we can have it the next group from, let's say, 2000 to 3000, like that we can have, and we can actually name it as 3000. So now when we plot it, we are going to get the groups. First pointer will be for 2000, second pointer will be for 3000, and similarly we are going to reduce the number of observations in the graph. And what would be the benefit of that? The benefit of that would be that you guys are going to get a proper representation that how the data is moving. Okay, I believe this is clear to all of you. So that's how what we do. We actually create the plots. So I have also created a line plot for you, and let us just quickly mark it so that that will be useful further for all of you. So plt.x label we have got. Okay, over the x label we can define this is going to be the lot size. Okay, and plt.y label, this is going to be the price. So we can quickly define that. And you can also set the title, okay, plt.title, and you can see comparison of price with lot size. Okay, so we can quickly make a graph somewhat like this. And now you can see that you've got a fresh graph which shows that it is a comparison of price with lot size. And now this graph is much understandable to you because you can see as soon as the values are moving from 25,000 to 1,75,000, we can actually observe that what is the range of the price and what is the range of the lot size if I have to buy a house at this price. So suppose if somebody says that I have a budget of 1,25,000 rupees, okay, so we might suggest him what best he can get. So we can suggest him something like that in case if you are actually looking for a house with $1,25,000, then generally you will be getting a house with more than 6,000 square yards. Okay, so it can be said. So what he can do in case if he is meeting with a property dealer, let's say, and a property dealer somewhere he is trying to misuse the lack of information of this candidate, and he says कि ठीक है आपके पास $1,25,000 हैं तो आपके लिए ये वाला घर सही है, मान लो ऐसा कुछ कहता है. तो अब होगा क्या कि where he could actually buy this house of this particular size, eventually malfunctioning की वजह से वो कम महंगा घर खरीदेगा जिसकी actual value हो सकती थी इस जगह पे, तो he would have been investing more money. So what can be done if you have a centralized system like that? If you have artificial intelligence, it will always be honest. Depending on the facts which are actually happening, it will actually be predicting the most relevant responses, and accordingly, what can be done? Consumers can be happy, and the service providers can also be happy, and they can give them value for money. Okay, the product for value for money. So these kind of analysis you can do it with anybody, wherever a product-based system is involved, let's say. Okay, so these are just the general techniques with data scientists. What they do, they analyze these data, they identify the conclusions. Depending on that, they make the machine learning models and so on. So we got this graph. Now let's go for the next part. This graph also can be used. You can right click on it. You can quickly download the image. Okay. And you can use your image for analysis purposes. So the students, those who are actually making projects, let's say on data science, what you can do, you can quickly collect the data sets from a repository. You can put it on Dataiku. You can put it on Python. You can quickly analyze what is happening. And depending on the real facts, then you can make your presentations, then you can make your products, which can actually be helpful for the users. And using this analysis, generally we identify the problems which the users have been facing. Okay, I believe my this part is clear to every participant. Please confirm me on chat if you all are clear till here. Okay. Okay, great. So this is how what we do. We make it programmatically as well as with the user interface. So I hope now you guys are actually understanding that you can actually make the products like this also, like Dataiku. You can make a product like that because it is very simple. It's just a web UI where you will be dragging and dropping some contents, and behind that some Python scripts or the scripts will be executing, and it will be plotting the graphs, and all that appropriate graphs will be displayed on a specific section. So all these things can be done. Okay, you can make your own tools also like Dataiku, as well as you can use it for the analysis purposes. Okay, now let's proceed to the next part. The next part says the part of the modeling. Okay, in the modeling part, what we do, we generally go to models here, and we have to create the first model. So what do we mean by model? Model is a mathematical equation which can actually help us identify the outcome or the response variable. Okay, so what I'll do is, let us just discuss about this first model tomorrow, because that will be much better. Because we will be having a long session for creation of the model and having discussions on them. So I might suggest that we will be having discussions on creation of the model tomorrow. So for now, you guys are clear with the process of basic evaluations before mining. We have actually understood the fact of the data. So once we have actually pre-processed the data, transformed the data, then we perform basic evaluations on the data. Okay, and these evaluations we actually do that by plotting the graphs, and we check how the observations are actually associated to each other, and we derive conclusions, and these conclusions actually mean what happened in data. Now tomorrow we are going to identify what will happen in future. So there are two things which I would like to quickly suggest you again. One was, there was the first question, what happened in data. So this is a quick example of what happened in data. Okay, this is a quick example of what happened in data, the graph, and we get to see that, okay, what happened in data. We can quickly observe from this data. Let's say the minimum house is priced somewhere like this. The minimum house with a lot size of less than 2000 US 2000 square meters is priced somewhere here. The maximum house of size 16,000 square meters is priced somewhat near, like 1 lakh, sorry, okay, approximately 1 lakh US dollars. So similarly, we can make a lot of observations. So the most highest priced house falls somewhere here, less than $6,000. So all these observations we are able to make. We can also see majority of the houses in this vicinity belong to this area. So from 3,000 to up till 4,500, or 3,000 to 4,200, we have got the majority of the houses, and they range in this price range. Okay, so all these we are able to observe. Okay, now, so this is something known as what happened in data, and why did it happen, why is it happening, what is the relationship between this. That can actually be specified using this correlation matrix. Okay, so these correlation matrix are generally helpful in understanding why is it happening. So let's say if the price and lot size matches 0.54, okay, then we can actually observe that yes, lot size is actually influencing the price, and on what other factors lot size is influenced. So we can say lot size is actually influenced with 0.35, and that is the garage places also. So now we can see, if there is a house which has this lot size and which has the garage place also, might be more costly with respect to the other houses. Okay, so this is how somewhere we can identify why is it happening, why the price of house is more. So we can actually identify using correlation matrix. Okay, that these are the important components which are actually influencing and identifying why is it happening. And using this option, we can calculate tomorrow by building the models. And what we can do is we can actually evaluate and calculate what will happen in future. Okay, what will happen tomorrow, let's say, or if the new data comes into the system, what is going to happen. So this is something which the data analysts actually do regularly, depending on their programming skills as well as the user interfaces like Dataiku and Pentaho, and there are various other tools available. And all these UI-based tools are quite easy to drive. But one of the best part with Dataiku, which I really like the most, is it gives you an option to perform UI-based, UI-driven data analysis, as well as program-oriented data analysis also. So you have all the options to write the scripts and do that. Plus, it gives you an option to create your presentations. It gives you options to export your analysis into a website. Okay, all those things are also available with Dataiku, which is considered as an add-on. So for now, for today's session, that's enough that you guys have quickly understood that how the data is working. Okay, and tomorrow we will be continuing our discussions on building the models, and tomorrow we also will be analyzing our telecom data. Moreover, I have some Microsoft examinations scheduled for tomorrow, so but we will be having our session at 2 p.m. onwards. Okay, I'll be notifying you via email about tomorrow's class, as well as the information. I believe you all are receiving the class information on email also, as well as on your WhatsApp group, but we are also trying to forward the information on email also to all the participants about what all sessions are happening. And apart from the current sessions, what are happening, we will also be scheduling a lot of other sessions on data science. We are taking up many projects and we are discussing it live. So we will be sharing that information also on your mail IDs. So even after this course, after 15th June, you can join our sessions. We have made our workforce development platform totally free of cost. All the courses are free on our platform. All the courses are 100% practical, with each course has a different number of projects in it, so you can actually learn the right skills which are required in the industry, and that too absolutely free of cost on the website. Okay, so it's going to be a great option for you all. Just visit the website, go to the career oriented courses, and over that career oriented courses there are so many industry oriented profiles are available. And for each profile, what do we have is, we have the appropriate courses which are required to have that is specified there. Okay, and we have all that curriculum also allotted in that, so that might be pretty helpful for all of you. I'll quickly give you a quick demonstration of that so that your learning doesn't stop. So on our website, you can quickly go to career programs. Under career programs, we have all the programs company wise. So suppose if you are planning to become a data scientist or data analyst, let's say, so you can quickly search here. Let's say I want to become a data analyst, let's say. Okay, so you can see these are the companies, those who are hiring the data analyst. Okay, so let's say there is a company known as CureFit. You all have heard about CureFit. It is very popular. CureFit is a gymming app which provides online and offline gyms where people can actually come and work out, and they are hiring data analysts to identify the performance of the users. Okay, so what you can do is you can go out to this job profile, see what how Mukesh Bansal and Ankit Nagori from CureFit has started this mobile application towards health and fitness. What is their vision? You can quickly see about it. Then you can see what are the skill sets required. You can understand about these skill sets, and from where you can understand about these skill sets, from these programming courses. So the data science, the AI part which is required for this particular program is available, and that too is free of cost. So what you can do is you can quickly go to start free training. You can register on this particular event. Within your account, you're going to get the appropriate program which is relevant to this profile, and you can quickly get started with the self-learning mode. Moreover, we have turned on this Talk to Mentor facility now from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So regularly from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Talk to Mentor facility is also available. You can post your queries. You will get the responses for the queries which you are observing. Okay, so that might be like very helpful for all of you for this, for learning directly the corporate oriented requirements. Okay, so that will actually help you with your placements. So these are the exact requirements which are generally required in the industry. And if you prepare it in the appropriate way, you will be able to land up to the right organizations. As well as, in order to add more value to the participants, those who are learning on our platform, you will be working on great projects during these self-learning sessions which we have provided. Apart from that, the great project experience, the next what you can do is, we have brought in certain add-on certification programs with Microsoft, Apple, EC Council, and various other companies. So we are sharing that information of that certifications also with all the students. So there is one program which we are currently running, that is on Microsoft Technology Associate with Python programming. So if you guys are doing data analysis, and if you want to make a mark, and if you want to show yourself distinguished while you will be going for placements, so it's a great option that you can take up those Microsoft examinations also and increase your ability, because that is a real examination based certification. Okay, so there is no use of free certifications. In case if you are actually attempting a right evaluation test, which is a globally recognized evaluation test, and you gain a certificate out of it, that draws a lot of value to you. Okay, so this is how all these things are organized. You can quickly observe that on our website, and the appropriate information on mails we are already sending in. And we will be continuously sending you more programs with project oriented approaches so that you can learn a lot and you can work out best in the industry. So if you guys have any questions, you can share your queries to us on Talk to Mentor, as well as tomorrow we will be having our discussion on machine learning in continuation. And again, we will be having one more validation tests. Okay. And those participants, just I want to inform you, the participants, those who were not able to submit the tests for some more time, let's say for 1 more hour, I am opening the evaluation tests here. Okay. And you can inform the friends, those who were unable to respond it for 1 more hour. Let's say for 1 more hour I'm going to accept the responses. They can submit their tests, and once their tests are submitted at 5 o'clock, let's say this is 4:42, 3:42. So at 4:42 or quarter to 5, I'm going to release the certificates again for the participants, those who have missed the submissions. Okay. So kindly post this information in your WhatsApp group also, that the test is open for time being. The link of the test I am also sharing with the participants here. You can share the link with your friends. Okay. And what they can do, I will also share the link with the faculty members who are available on my chat here. So this exam form link can be shared with the participants. We will be accepting it for 1 more hour, and at 3:42 again we will stop it and we will release the certificates. Okay. So I hope you all will be learning. Try to implement all these things practically. Once you guys are done with practical implementations of these, we will be working on the project development part also. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and on Monday we will be designing a project, and you all will be having one more evaluation test, which will be a final evaluation test. Okay. So all the best, everyone. Let's have a meeting tomorrow 2 p.m. Thank you so much. Anything, if any faculty member would like to say anything to the participants, please.
Devanshu sir, tomorrow's timing will be also 2 p.m. now?
Yes, 2 p.m.
Okay. And I was thinking कि अपन लोग जब परसों टेस्ट देंगे तो उसका टाइम थोड़ा सा या तो हम लोग सेशन के बाद रखेंगे, एंड ऑन मंडे एक्चुअली we'll be having the valedictory session. So we'll be asking the TechCube persons to come, and might be directors are also. So I'll let you know whatever happens. So
Sure.
we'll plan our sessions accordingly. Like that. Yeah.
Great.
So all the participants are requested to please attend tomorrow's and day after tomorrow's session for certain, and ask your friends also to attend the sessions, because we'll be giving you the feedback forms also, and it is a compulsory part of at least getting the certificate from us. You know? So at least attempt the test and give the feedback. So this is a compulsory part for all the participants. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So here, all the information has been shared to all of you. The examinations has already been opened at 3:42. We will be at 4:42. We will be closing it again. So kindly inform all your friends to submit the test. Those who have missed it, and those who have not attended the sessions yet, inform them also to submit it. Otherwise, they might face issues in the attendance and all that certification allotment process. So in order to avoid that, they can have a quick look of the examination attempted, get passed, get the certificates, and that's all for the day. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.